The biggest legalized Ponzi scheme rolls on as the left tries to take over your freedom. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, November. Should be November. May the 17th. And what's going on, everybody? Wow, what a week. What is going on in this country between Obamagate and, again, if you don't think Obama isn't as dirty as Clinton or as Nixon or as many others that we will never hear about in the years, then maybe you should think again. I mean, listen, we don't give anybody on either side any leeway here, and we know that there's a lot of dirty things that go on behind closed doors that we'll never hear about, including Shifty Shift and the rest of them. But in the meantime, we know that's going on for many, many years and longer than I'm sure that I could even imagine. Okay, but you're now seeing some real problems created, of course. With this continued shutdown in the government, okay, or the continued shutdown of economies, and notice how you've got these shutdowns are more in the left states, especially California, New York, and Illinois, all right, which are also begging for more money. And I believe that Cuomo says that he's got to get $61 billion for New York to stay out of trouble. Well, you know, where's all the tax dollars that they collected over all these years? You know, I live in Illinois, and it is one of the worst states. Of course, our billionaire governor, Pritzker, okay, is just as dirty as the rest of them. And he don't want to open this up either. And you don't think this is some sort of a ploy going towards the November election? Okay, again, if you think that, well, I guess listen, we can all be gullible, right? But if you don't think this is not a ploy, all you have to do is look at the states that are shut down, the highest tax states that are all in the red to begin with. Okay, I can't wait not to be a resident of Illinois. Okay, I'm here only under duress for the moment. Okay, but again, you can look at it any way you want, and I'm sure there'll be cards and letters rolling in from you trolls out there that want to tell me how nuts I am on what a crook President Trump is. But in the meantime, in my eyes, you've got the biggest crooks on the left right now, and all they want to do is give away some more free money. Okay, the new $3 trillion package, which includes $1 trillion for illegal aliens. Are you kidding me? We now want to support. It's not enough that that we'll never get out of this debt hole. It's not enough that we're going to have, digital currency sometime, and possibly, if Bill Gates has his way, everybody will have a chip in their head like my dog, okay, so we can track everybody, okay? Yet now, okay, they want to give more of our money away, okay? You don't think that is starting to create the socialism regime, all right? Look, hey, listen, we're all entitled to our opinion, okay? This is America, at least it is for now, but certainly, it looks like things are changing, right? And it ain't changing for the better, right? We need to get the economy open, and you know what? And the pandemic is the pandemic, and I will say that I still believe that China started it, and I wouldn't even be surprised if it was done intentionally, okay? Again, I have no idea. I'm not a doctor, but I know some of the backstories, and I can see what's going on, and certainly there's a lot of issues out there, but at some point you got to make a decision. Do you want, 1 million suicides or 300,000 deaths from a virus? Again, I don't know. I mean, you've already destroyed probably 30% of small business that'll never come back. Which, how many jobs is that, and how many people's lives have been ruined already from this? And here comes another aid package that wants to cover pot, wants to cover illegal aliens, wants to cover a number of other things that have nothing to do with the economy, nothing to do with the pandemic, and yet here we are. And of course, it barely passed the House, which tells you, okay, considering that the House is way overwhelmed with the Democrats, that maybe it is not a very good bill. Okay, so again, listen, I don't think it'll ever get through, but in the meantime, it's awfully stupid. Okay, that's all I can say about it. Is I'm tired. Okay, and certainly if I was in California, I can't imagine that such a big part of your budget goes to funding illegals. Okay, to me, but I guess it's worth it because you can get cheap labor, so you don't mind letting the government pay, which at the end of the day you really pay. But keep thinking that way, and let's continue to build the system the way it is so that we can collapse. Right? I mean, again, it's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, what's going on? And of course, a lot of this was started, many years ago. But of course, Obama put the fine touches on a lot of it. Okay, and now you've got Pelosi. But of course, just notice the people that are all behind us. Oh yeah, they're all either multi-millionaires or billionaires. Oh geez, that's really good. That's because they're already set. Okay, it's wonderful to watch when the very wealthy tell us that we have too much. It's very wonderful to watch when the wealthy who spend millions and millions of dollars trying to hide their money, okay, want to make sure that they give away, but not their money. They want to give away other people's money. Okay, they want to give away the government money with our great Fed Ponzi scheme that we've had, the legalized Ponzi scheme. Have you, right? I mean, but yet. Let's keep printing those dollars out, right? So let's now do some more bond repurchasing and some more. I mean, let's just continue to build that. What's the difference? It'll not go anywhere. I mean, again, it's just money, right? Just paper. So why not get the printing presses rolling? Okay, let's not let the free markets try to solve this out. Let's have the worst depression in the history of this country. And as we're at it, let's go ahead and blame, President Trump, who's been embattled from everybody for almost 4 years now, who's been nothing. The left has done absolutely nothing in 4 years, except try to impeach, try to get rid of the justices that he got. And of course, we'll talk about Tara Reade and Joe Biden and the left about that later, In the meantime, so the Fed, more trillions. Let's keep the presses on rolling, baby. As long as we get paper and ink, and of course, if they go to digital, they won't even need paper and ink. They just need a computer. Okay, so it's terrific. It's just a wonderful way. And of course, how many restaurants? Your favorite restaurants will be out of business, most likely. Okay, I mean, all your local establishments, your neighborhood places are busted. Okay, they got no chance to come back. Okay, and of course, the longer we keep the economy shut down, and we know now that even if we get the economy fully open tomorrow, it still is not going to help the sports teams. Now, again, it's really not the sports teams I'm worried about, but what about the millions of vendors and car parkers and people that work at those stadiums, and that's their career, that will not be employed most likely this year, What about that? What are we going to do about them? But no, let's worry about the illegal aliens first and not worry about the vendors and the guys who take care of you and the gals who take care of you at all these arenas, that will not be open probably. I'm going to say they probably will not open unless there's some miracle vaccine in the year 2020, We'll be lucky if they open it in 2021, all right? So restaurants, especially your local establishments, you can forget about it. And any chain that was on thin ice to begin with, you can forget about them too, because they've got no chance to recover from this either. So again, this is the time we need our freedom, not the time that we need to be under the thumb of more government regulation, under more subsidies from the government. This is the time that we need to let the economy go, open it up, and let people try to get through this the best way they can. And the only way we can do this is by starting to consume goods, because of course, the farming community is getting destroyed by this closed down economy with the inability to process and deliver, because there's nothing to deliver because we've got all these places closed. So again, and you take in the slaughterhouses here, but let's not worry about them. Let's not worry about the backbone of this country. Let's not worry about where this country came from. Let's just continue to destroy everything so that we can end up in this position. I mean, industrial production only at 101-year lows. Manufacturing in the toilet. And why aren't we doing more manufacturing here? Now, did somebody not see that this was a possibility that could happen over time? Did something that recognize that if you gave everything to China and you moved everything offshore, including your drugs and medicine, that could not be a problem? Okay. Here you are now where we should have all this stuff, especially that stuff manufactured here, but no, let's not have that here. Let's have it outside with, we won't call them an enemy, but certainly not our best friend. Okay. And again, let's make sure that we continue to create and keep, states like Illinois, big industrial states, and states like California, and states like New York, and any of the other states, because most of the right states have started to open. And again, yeah, there might be some issues, and there might be some backlash, and I might see some reoccurring of some viruses, but the only way we're going to get through this is to let it run its course. Okay, it is not going to go away without letting it run its course. And until some build up an immunity, until some do this, we're going to continue to have these issues, which make no sense. Okay, that's where it really comes down to. Okay, is you can't get anything done. Yes, I understand we had to do the social distancing. We had all those things that have to go along. But after that, we need to have an economy running, even if it's running at 50 or 60%, because running at zero, is destroying it more than any virus will ever do. And of course, bunker sales are exploding because, of course, those that can are buying bunkers to be saved so they can survive through all this and hide versus whatever. And of course, are they taking care of you? No, they're not. But again, you continue to see the markets don't care about all this. So there you have the other side of the coin, right? So when you look from the economic status, the stock market says, hey, we don't care. We're going higher. We're going to be fine. And that would be and should be your better gauge of where we should be, is what the markets are doing, because they do have an ability to kind of forecast the future. Now, again, they've got some of their own quirks right now with the, obviously a lot of relying on the Fed. And of course, are we going to get to negative rates? That's another story that needs to be addressed by this country. Do we really want negative rates? I mean, again, I understand cheap rates. I'm refinanced everything just to take the cheap money. But should it really not be that way? Because the average guy doesn't get benefit of the cheap rates. He's still paying ridiculous credit card fees, peer-to-peer lenders he's borrowing from. So, again, think about who it really helps. It doesn't help the people it should help. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with more after the break of Bubba's Bottom Line. Okay, kids, what's going on? Wild week, and in the meantime, our HEDGE commodity report, smashing, had a great week, had a great understanding of everything that was happening in the commodities markets, and of course, it can be available to you now. It's called Technomental. Andy Hecht, 40-year veteran of the commodities business, traveled worldwide, the biggest silver trader in the world at one point. Want to check it out? $100 a month, $800 annual. Go to BUBBATrading.com, check it out. And don't forget about our brokerage partners for commodities and futures, which is CTG. They do all of our letter direction trading, and Nelson over there takes care of business. And again, make sure that you have the right information and discusses things with you. So you get personal attention to get taken care of. And of course, over at Tradier, man, they take care of you just like family, right? And it's $10 a month. Hey, check them out. If you want to find out any more about either of those two, just send me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll take care of you there. And of course, yesterday we had a great webinar on our mini and micros, which will be expiring on June 1st. After June 1st, we will no longer be offering our futures services. We're going to keep it to the members that we have now, and we will reevaluate at the end of the year. But for now, we will go ahead and shut it down. So anybody who wants to check it out, just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. We get to June 1st, we're going to be done. And of course, don't forget about our high school program as we try to rebuild it for next year to give some of these kids some financial literacy, because certainly what we got now don't know nothing. In the meantime, you can help me out there if you go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, and I am Todd Bubba Horowitz. And of course, markets last week, a little softer. but not a disaster. Remember, we had just come from some major breakouts to the upside, and all we really did in the Dow and in the S&P was pull back into that consolidation range. Okay, so we're really just consolidating. Okay, the NASDAQ, believe it or not, is still on a breakout. Okay, it came right back down to support and is now back up. So it's above the consolidation, and the Russell's just weak. But in the meantime, okay, there's nothing to panic about. And if you take a look at the action, it was pretty easy to understand how we got a bounce on Thursday and Friday based on where the chart point was. Not the news. Who cares about the news? Again, for another Thursday, they tried to bury the market into the jobless claims. It was brutal, but it was better than expected. Markets ended up on the day on Thursday, okay, and had a nice rally on Friday. So I think you have to understand where we are in the big picture. Now we're still long, okay, and I'm not telling you to be long. Listen, and I've made it very clear. I feel at some point we're going to make new lows, but again, I will only trade and carry positions based on the algorithm. And the algorithm says you're long. And we've made good money on the long side. We've been long since the end of March. Okay. So it certainly hasn't been anything I can complain about. So again, I'm not trying to get long. I'm just saying that's, I don't argue with what the algorithm says, because what the algorithm really takes is it takes in, 120 years of traders' knowledge and combines it into a mathematical formula that understands volatility, understands markets, understands the charts, because at the end of the day, again, you trade the news, you lose. Dollar continues to be stuck in this real tight consolidation range. Again, as much as the Fed tries to push the dollars down, okay, they keep coming back. And again, a lot of that's got to do with what? The dollar's a great fear asset. So, you run for fear, where you go to the dollar, okay? You want to have some safety. So that still tells you that the dollar is still the reserve currency and will be for a while. Okay. Now again, everybody wants to panic you, right? It's going to be, I've been hearing that for over 10 years. Okay. About the dollar not being the reserve currency, but obviously China is faltering in pretty bad shape right now. And I think, again, it looks like it's coming down to a battle of central banks and crap. And we'll see who blinks first. So in the meantime, the bond markets, unbelievable. Can stay in this extended. It's now about 13 weeks of, if it was a heart patient, they would call it dead. In the meantime, we're still long. We're still short dollars, by the way. We're still long bonds, okay? They've gone nowhere, okay? They're really just churning between 178 and 182 in the 30-year, and up and down they go, and they never go anywhere when it's all said and done. You look at it, and it's just a straight line across the board. Same with the notes. And, of course, gold, wow, metals. Big week for the metals, and as they looked early in the week as if they were going to collapse and fall apart, as we wrote every day for Kitco, just watch these numbers, these levels, which we did, and certainly from those levels, we got a beautiful bounce. And I mean, you got a charge on Friday in silver that was unbelievable. And of course, I would certainly expect some pullback in the next day or two, but you got a big move in gold. You got gold back up to the 1750 level. Okay, platinum got over 800. So all of a sudden, the metals look like they're getting ready to make the next stage up. Now again, we're long across the board. I would not be surprised to see some sort of a pullback in the next couple of days, just because, right? You cannot expect a market to go straight up. It's going to have some pullbacks. Now again, it may not be tomorrow, but at some point here, and I'm not going to trade for it. We're long, and I'm staying there. Okay, now intraday I might trade for it, but I am not going to try to speculate that the tops are in, because nobody can tell you when the end of this market's going to go. Okay, and then of course, crude oil, which we're still short. I'm choking on now. We're still short crude oil. It's pretty close, but again, we're short September oil. Okay. As June gets ready to come off the board this week, and it's not going to go negative, which, again, we said was a possibility, but now that brings July in play. Again, the only thing that will make oil go negative, okay, will be if there is a shutdown again, okay? But you've started to see there's been a lot of adjustment in the amount that we're starting to supply, so there's been things that will change that. But so right now, we're still short. And we'd be short. It looks to me we'd probably be short for another $2 or $3 before we would actually reverse out in in oil right now. And again, we're in September. Okay, so we're away from, what we're away from is the news items and the economy problems in the short term. Okay, and of course, the grain markets, just, of course, listen, the grains have a lot of issues that deal specifically with the coronavirus or the pandemic and the lack. Now, again, we have a big problem in this country and in the world. There's an oversupply. Okay, so again, you take no weather supply, you take no weather issues, no crops, no disruptions, nothing. Plus the fact you tie in better technology that continues to increase the ability to produce, you get nowhere to sell it. Okay, all those people that talked for all those years about, well, we're gonna need so much more food. Well, yeah, we need a lot more food, but we're producing more than we need and continue to do so. So what we're gonna need, we need this economy open, number one, because there's a big problem. Okay. And again, we're still short the grains across the board. Okay. Again, I'd love to be long them. I'd love to have a reason to go long. And as soon as the algorithm changes, I will. But at these levels, again, I can only see them right now still going lower. Although, again, personally, if I wasn't using the algorithm, I'd like to be a buyer. But we've got to see the economy open. We've got to see, and I'm hoping that some of my farming friends will not plant this year because we need to be, we can't do it as fast as oil. Okay, but I think we need to start to create and eliminate some of the inventory that we're sitting in. Okay, because again, right now there's just too much of it, and it needs to be worked on. So in the meantime, you continue to see lower prices there. Now the meats, on the other hand, kind of finally have broken out a little bit, which is hopefully indicating there's still issues in the slaughterhouses. We're still having a problem, but obviously the stores, are dying for meat because they're out because we had that problem in the supply chain. So again, we're long fats or live cattle, feeder cattle, and hogs, okay, and look for much higher prices, okay? And again, if we can get the dam broken and let it start to run, then I think we'll be in really good shape as well. So again, and I do that would be good for the grains as well. But again, we still are getting oversupplied there, and if the speculation is wrong that things are going to square up, then we could see another dramatic drop in prices. But in the meanwhile, we will remain, long and not worry. And of course, natural gas, it continues to turn around with copper. Again, there's not a lot of movement in any of the real markets right now. Everything is really more other than the metals right now, and now oil breaking out a little bit. But basically, everything's kind of just sideways. Okay. Now, again, what's going to happen now? Well, again, we know earnings are continuing to report, and we know they're going to be bad. So again, the real question is how bad will they be versus what were expectations? Again, that's the biggest thing that we can ever look at is, again, it comes back down to how bad can they be versus what are market expectations, okay? That's what our concern is, okay? Again, that's really what it comes down to. We know they're going to be bad, okay? So what is the expectation and what does the potential look like future? And of course, with so many things being shut down, it's a much bigger problem, okay? And that, again, now you are seeing a lot of money go into the market. Why? Because again, where else are you going to go? That is, so you've got Nelson Pelz, and you've got David Tepper. Okay, David Tepper, who did correctly identify in 2008 the markets were bottoming based on what the Fed was doing. Okay, and Pelz, he's bullish and says we're going a lot higher. Tepper says this is the most overvalued market he's seen since the 90s. Now, again, is it? I don't know. Again, I don't care. I mean, again, I've been through this, and again, if you're long term and you have enough money to hold, if it goes against you from being short, hey, you might be right. Okay, but again, most of us aren't in that position that can just go ahead and take a position and lose $1 billion and not worry about it. So, again, I don't know who's right. Okay, they're probably both right. Right, but the question is how do you time that out? And if you try to time the market, you get no chance either. Again, those are things that really cannot be done over time. Okay, you cannot time the actual of when the events are going to occur. Those who think they can, that's why you always end up losing your money, because you always try to time it, and timing the market is a virtual impossibility. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We're going to step out here for our final break and come back with, my commentary. It's been kind of commentary the whole day, but I'll be back with more. All right, everybody. Well, here we are. And of course, just want to remind you about our technical commodity report. Again, Andy Heck writes it, #1 writer for Seeking Alpha. At one point, the world's largest silver trader. I mean, again, he gives you a full detailed report. Wednesday, out comes a summary. Friday comes a full report. Quarterly reports that are very detailed throughout the board. Okay. So again, you want to get the best from a guy who's lived it and traveled it and been worldwide dealing with it. That's it. Just go to BUBBATrading.com. Technimentals is the name of the report. It's $100 a month or $800 annual. And of course, we've got two great brokerage partners, one for futures and commodities, which is CTG Group, takes care of all of our letter direction trading. And listen, again, you want customer service, you want to call somebody, have them answer the phone, they're the ones to call. And of course, for equities and futures, it's Trader. Again, $10 a month. How can you beat it? Right? And again, they also have great customer service, even through this shutdown and pandemic, all the other stuff. So you want to check them out. If you want to check either one of those out, just send me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. I'll send you some information. And of course, don't forget about our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That's patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to my commentary on Bubba's Bottom Line. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horwitz. And of course, every week I get, I kind of get to sneak my commentary in the whole time. And I think I kind of opened up the commentary, but I'm going to continue it now. And, I'm really laughing at this whole Tara Reade, Joe Biden sexual assault. First of all, Joe Biden's nothing but a puppet. Okay. I don't think he knows where he's at half the time. Okay. And he got all flustered again on his own station, right? On CNBC or MSNBC, one of those stations. But in the meantime, okay. So when it's a Republican, it's the girl is always right. The woman is always right. And they have to be believed until proven wrong. Okay. But now on the other side, now we have witnesses, okay, coming out against Tara Reade already, saying she's a liar, she's this. Suddenly she's not, okay, a true respect women and listen to them. It's now she's a liar that she doesn't know. And of course, Joe Biden, I don't remember who she is. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, of course, he doesn't remember who anything is. He may not remember who he is. So how's he going to remember who she is? But again, so we obviously see the double standard there as well. When you're on one side, the woman's a liar. Okay. When you're on the other side, you have to believe the woman. Just you tell me. Okay. Again, if that's logical to you, hey, God bless. Okay. To me, that is not a logical solution. It's either you believe the woman or you don't believe the woman. And I think, of course, this goes back to, the much destruction that our good friend Hillary Clinton did to many of Bill's pals. Okay. A lot of stories about them over the years, and, you have to make your own decision on whether or not they're true. But it's love the double standard, love the way that they're trying to take over, and love the way they're putting in. Maybe they'll bring in the ventriloquist to talk for Vice President Biden. In the meantime, everybody, be healthy, have a great weekend, and enjoy your day. And as always, I appreciate, and we'll see you back here tomorrow with another Bubba's Daily Update. In the meantime, enjoy yourself, be healthy, and hopefully your state's open. You can have some fun. We'll see you, everybody. Have a great day.